The one place that most deeply embodies the spirit of the University of Missouri is the Francis Quadrangle.
The story of the quad and the history behind the columns generally is something we definitely touch on every tour of campus. And again, that story is Mizzou's story.
This piece of property that we're sitting around, this is really what was the core of the original University of Missouri when it was founded. Academic Hall was built here, and then after the fire, the university rebuilt out of the ashes.
After the Great Fire of 1892, only the columns of Academic Hall remained. A new campus plan was devised to be erected upon a quadrangle centered around the columns, and the historic Red Campus was born. Surrounding this sacred space, a succession of trees were planted. The present-day iteration of this iconic landscape design are the 26 pin oaks planted in the 1950s.
Unfortunately, the trees are to their useful life end. I mean, they've exceeded that actually, and so the mature oak trees on the quad are going to have to be replaced over time with new trees.
Replacing the oaks on Francis Quadrangle promises to be a challenging proposition. However, the decisions made today, based on cutting-edge horticultural science and methods, will have implications that will last for centuries.
We want to make a thoughtful transition to trees that will be here 100, 200 years from now, potentially. And that's why we've selected, we're selecting trees out of the white oak group of trees.
You can be a part of this lasting legacy. Over the next several years, white oaks will be selected and nurseried at the university's South Farm facility to be planted on the quad as needed. The existing pin oaks will be removed as conditions warrant. At the end of this process, a seamless transition to a legacy that will last lifetimes.
We have oaks, pin oaks, that have reached their maturity, and it's really time to look at a replacement strategy. And instead of having one species of oak out on the quad, rightly so, it's been determined that there should be a diversity of oak species. And so the trees that you see in this nursery, the species that have been selected, have come out of a long conversation with some of the greatest minds in trees. And we've selected this particular group of oak species that are now, they were babies that were brought up to a larger size container, and now they've been planted in what's called a grow bag that's in the ground. They're going to be growing in real soil. And in growing in these grow bags, the roots become very concentrated in that space, so that when the tree is harvested, ultimately being lifted out of the ground in this bag, you'll have the whole root system.
Everybody thinks oaks grow slow, but if you take care of them, feed them, fertilize them, no, they're going to get the caliper on and be part of the landscape really early on. That's what makes it really unique with this botanical committee and the planning committee, just ensuring that that green space is maintained and enhanced for generations to come.
College of Agriculture, Food and Natural Resources is so proud to be a partner on this Legacy Oak project. So here we are trying to grow the oak species to be replanted at the quad on campus. So I don't think there is a better place to demonstrate that project, the early phase of that project, than the Ag Experiment Station.
Now this is very exciting because it really fits into what South Farm does, where we're planting the legacy trees that's going to be on campus. These trees will be evaluated. Only the best, only those that shape the best, that have the best color, then will go on campus. And that's pretty exciting.
Well, you don't plant a tree for yourself. You put that thing in the ground with this image in your head of this big, expansive, long branches, widespread tree that one day is going to provide some sort of inspirational setting for whoever it is that comes 60 years later, 100 years later, 200 years later, depending on the species. But it's pretty cool. It's a really good feeling to know that you're doing something that lasts in that scale.
Join us in supporting the legacy oaks of the Francis Quadrangle. It is a unique opportunity to enrich the Mizzou community for centuries. Countless generations in the future will come to know the Quad as it has always been known, a very special place.